everyone, Tours and Tales. Come spend 8 nights with us in Norfolk. So the journey down there was surprisingly quite nice. It wasn't too bad. We was fortunate enough where we didn't encounter too much traffic. The streets actually going into the campsite once you come off the motorway, they're not too bad, just a little bit narrow. That's all I'd say. Coming into the campsite, there is plenty of places for you to be able to pull over, to be able to go into reception. Could not complain one bit. As you'll be able to see from the video, there was plenty of space. There was no problem. So there is a certain area for you to be able to pull up to the line to be able to then go into reception. So I'd say quite happily both of those lanes would fit 3 lots of cars and caravans on. So 6 in total. So there was plenty of space. It was a lovely sight. I was surprised with how small it was in comparison to some of the other sites we've been to. It catered for everyone, don't get me wrong. But it was on the smaller side. I expected it to be a lot bigger. Now, don't get me wrong, it was perfect for what we'd booked for. We wanted a peaceful 8-night getaway. I'd been to the Norfolk Broads as a kid, so I knew roughly what we was going to be doing whilst we was out here, and we'd had a look to see what there was in the local area. The site was it was a typical caravan and motorhome site. It had your bulls area, your herbs. The only thing, and I'm not sure if more caravan and motorhome sites are starting to do this, or whether I've just been spoilt previously, but this only had one section of bins. I'm wondering if it's because it's such a small site. So you had your Elson point, your service point, which could get quite busy, obviously, at departure and arrival times. So the information hut, there was plenty in there. So I picked up a few leaflets while I was in there because there was so much to do. It also told you when the pizza nights were, when the Indian nights were. So the facilities were very, what I would call bog standard caravan and motorhome facility. It was clean, it was well maintained. It was definitely the older style. I know they've started to refurb a lot of them and they are a lot nicer. The one thing I will say about them toilets is you needed a code to get in, and I kept forgetting the code. I'm useless. So this was where the dog run was. It was quite small. It was just a thin strip. We've definitely seen bigger, and there was actually quite a bit of dog mess around on that area. We wasn't too fussed though, because there was a really lovely walk just on the outside of the campsite where we kept on going, taking the dog down the Broads. What we did really like was how dog-friendly the Norfolk Broads really was. You know, dog-friendly beaches, could take her to the pub. Pretty much everywhere was dog-friendly apart from your bog-standard supermarkets and things like that. And I absolutely love that because it means we're not restricted to anything. We can still go off and enjoy our time in the Norfolk Broads without being restricted by the dog. And I absolutely love that. So these were the pizzas that you could get on site. They were beautiful. Can't complain. Pictures were bog standard as usual. Okay, so we thought we'd give you a bit of an update on our views on Norfolk. Although it was a very nice site and it was perfect for while we was away for what we needed as a good base point. We won't be in a rush to return there, will we?
No. Nothing against the site.
Yeah, absolutely nothing against the site whatsoever. Beautiful little site. It's okay. It didn't blow us away though.
No.
and because it is like a good 4.5-5 hour drive for us, it's not as if it's just round the corner. So we probably would next time look at a different site.
Yeah, it's with it being a caravan club site, it was definitely one of the caravan club purists, and it's your typical older, will give you funny looks just for being young. It was just a weird vibe, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't really the vibe we kind of look for when we go to a caravan site. And we go to caravan and motorhome because we know what it's like. You know you're getting the bog standard. We looked round and we saw that there was quite a few campsites around there locally, didn't we?
Yeah.
Whilst we've been there. So we probably would look at more of an independent site next time.
Yeah.
If we was to come back to this area. Because the area itself...
Stunning.
Absolutely stunning. Loved it. The beaches, everything. Could not fault. So yeah, I think next time we would look more independent rather than caravan and motorhome. But apart from that, bog standard, very much what you get with caravan and motorhome.
Big pitches, clean loose.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah.